making my own of the Dubai Pistachio chocolate bar. This was all done with ingredients I had on hand. I will show you what I had and why I used it and what I will use next time because I'm making these again for sure. They are delicious. I deshelled about 1 cup of pistachios, oven roasting for 8 minutes, removing most of the skin as well. I also had about 1/4 cup of honey roasted pistachios. I added with that to give it a tiny bit of sweetness. In a food processor, I blended that for close to 5 minutes, and I had to add about a total of 3 teaspoons of pistachio oil, but you could use another neutral oil as well. I already had frozen phyllo dough from the last time I made baklava. Yes, I know that's not the correct pronunciation. With a very sharp knife, I slowly tried to shave the tiniest bit off of the dough that I had thawed out for about an hour. I almost made my own dough because it's very simple, and it's likely you already have those ingredients. I melted about 3 tablespoons of butter and over a medium heat. I cooked that until it got nice and crunchy. While I was doing that, I got some white chocolate and some dark chocolate, melted both of those with a little bit of coconut oil. You can use Ziploc bags or a spoon or a knife, anything to swirl this chocolate. At the bottom of your mold, I always have a reusable piping bag or sometimes disposable piping bags on hand though. And yes, the melted chocolate was burning my hands. I had to do it while it was hot, or the chocolate would have hardened quickly. I let that white chocolate set just a little bit before I added the dark chocolate on top, just so it didn't blend too much. These are the silicone mold I already had on hand. One is for making a giant cupcake-shaped cake, so I tried to do a variety of designs to see what looks best. I tried to use this gel gold glitter icing on a couple of them. I don't recommend that. I tried tilting each mold to get an even layer of that dark chocolate. Just to smooth out that pistachio butter, I put a tablespoon of the melted white chocolate and a tablespoon of a honey roasted peanut butter. Now at this point a mistake was made. I didn't get as creamy of a filling because I thought I should add more of the crunchy phyllo dough. Make sure that first layer of chocolate is nice and frozen. Another mistake I made was not letting the filling cool down enough. So I think it started to melt that layer of chocolate from the freezer. So I tried to keep that filling more away from the edges so I could put melted chocolate around the edge. So I'm just going to tell you now that it's probably smart to freeze between each layer, or they mix up a little too much and it's not as noticeable of a layer effect. I tried to press down the pistachio filling and smooth it out some. I definitely didn't make enough. Actually, I made enough. I just ate too much of it because it tasted so good. So the top 2 chocolates only had a little bit of the pistachio filling. One of them I put honey roasted pistachios in, and the other I did crushed pretzels and caramel sauce. So after I picked my fillings, I tried to get another even layer of the melted dark chocolate, but I didn't freeze between that layer. So next time, taking the time to freeze between each layers will be very helpful. So removing these from the molds is extremely satisfying. I think I let this one sit in the freezer for close to an hour while I finished the other ones, and that was way too long. It was pretty hard to break in half, and I think the filling was already not very liquidy in, it being very frozen. It didn't have that gooey filling effect, but it still tasted delicious. Also, don't do what I did and try and wipe the excess chocolate off your mold. If you pop it in the freezer for a minute, it will break right off. These still had a pretty cool design on the top, but again I'm probably going to freeze between each thing I do, so I'm going to now remove and cut open all but one of these. That glittery gel just stayed sticky and messy. It wasn't as bad with the white chocolate. For some reason they kind of blended together. This first one was just the pistachio filling by itself. This one probably has the most even layered look. The next one I'm cutting is just a pistachio filling with a caramel sauce. It has some bigger and smaller pockets of caramel. It was very good. This next one has the honey roasted pistachios in it with the pistachio filling. I was pretty competent. I evenly distributed those pistachios, but that's not how it looks. And this last one has the crushed pretzels with the caramel sauce and the pistachio filling. It was my favorite. I think it all went together really well, and the next time I make these, I will be doing the same thing, with some slight adjustments. These were not really hard to make at all. They took a little bit of time, especially if you have to make your own ingredients. Give them a try. I will show you all when I make them again.